Hello ladies.
Abang ada depan beli orang. Mister.
Oh.
Tuh.
Kamera. Yes, another beautiful day in Indonesia. We left Belitung this morning about 2 o'clock, still dark, and the idea being that get away early. We had about an 82 mile sail down to Java, and I thought by getting away early I could do that in daylight and arrive before sunset. However, the first 3 hours were pretty slow, there wasn't much wind, and I had to dodge around some fishing boats. And then we were in a position that we weren't going to make it before dark. So then I went to plan B, which was to go to Jepara, head down there, sail overnight. And the wind wasn't that good for that direction. Now we're heading to an island which I forget the name of at the moment. Karimunjawa is the name. Karimunjawa. And that's round about there, if you can see that. Maybe not. There's Jakarta. That's where we're coming from. And that's where we're going, this little island up here. Yeah, so with the wind we've got at the moment and the speed we've got at the moment, we're going to get there probably around about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30. So what I'll do, I'll keep going good speed like this during the day, and then at night slow down. I'm expecting we're going to get fishing boats and all sorts of stuff tonight anyway, and then that should just give us a nice daylight arrival in the morning. So we're just sailing wing on wing at the moment. Got the full main out, and we got the Yankee poled out to port. It's all very comfortable. The wind's about between 10 and 15 knots, so we're doing a nice speed. In the gust, the main's just a little bit too big, so she rounds up a little bit. So I'll probably put a reef in the main a little bit later, just one reef, and that'll balance it. Okay. A bit of crap on the deck this morning when we put the anchor up. Yeah, there's a nice breeze setting in now. This looks like about 15 knots now, which is good. I'll finish this little bit of film and then I'll put the first reef in the main. That'll balance us up nicely. We won't lose any speed. We'll stay at the same speed, but we'll just be a bit more comfortable and we won't be swinging around quite so much on the course. Yeah, so hopefully if it stays like this, then I can get a few naps today and catch up on some sleep, ready for tonight, ready for all the action with our friends the Indonesian fishermen. It's our second sunrise on our trip to Karimun, Jawa. We should have been there by now if the wind had held, but it went light last night and we've still got 20 miles to go, so we should be in there at lunchtime. I had to take the main down last night. Just flogging around, there wasn't enough wind to keep it full, so we've just been noodling along at 3 knots, 4 knots with the staysail on the pole. Mickey's been steering okay, had quite a few fishing boats and squid boats last night, but nothing as horrendous as the other night. They're all pretty well behaved. Yeah, so hopefully get in there and have a nice anchorage and get a bit of rest, a bit of sleep, and then plot the next route. So this is the Java Sea. It's not always a mill pond. Yeah, so we're just running under the couple of reefs in the main, and I got the whole stay still is out and just a little bit of Yankee out just to give us some directional stability. And we're holding the course quite well, and Mickey's not really having to fight anything. It's quite well balanced. Yeah, if things are not right, then you'll see the tiller on one side or the other predominantly, but it's just following nicely at the moment, which is good. Yeah, so I just had breakfast and then I got a bit of tidying up to do. Spilled some coffee this morning when we took one of the death rolls, and then I'm going to have a few little power kips if I can, try and catch up on some sleep, ready for tonight. Yeah, so that's it. We should be arriving at daylight tomorrow. That's the plan. We've got some reefs to go through, so if we're ahead of schedule I'll just slow down so we arrive at daylight and then up through the reefs. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the top of Belitung tomorrow, or I might anchor before I get there. I'll just see how I feel, what the wind's like, but at the moment I'm thinking I might just anchor down the bottom end for a few hours and maybe go up the next day, the next morning, but we'll see how it goes. Well, another morning, we made it through the night. This is our second day heading up the Java Sea towards Belitung. After a slow start yesterday we got more breeze and we're doing some really good speeds. It became a little bit lumpy with the swell, some heavy rolling, the swell on the quarter, and just after midnight I reduced sail. We're going a bit too fast, doing about 7.5 knots. It was becoming a bit uncomfortable. I don't want to get there before daylight, so there's no point in hurrying. We just need to be 5.5 and we'll be fine. And then just before 2 o'clock in the morning I was having a nap in the cockpit and I heard the unmistakable sounds of wood, timber, rubbish and stuff against the hull, lots of knocking and banging, and it looks like we ran over a disused fishing trap, probably something that's floated out from the shore and been floating around just waiting for me to come along. So that was a bit disconcerting. Part of it was trapped around the skeg, so it took a little while to get that free, and I got a bit of video of that, so I'll show that as well. I had a look around the hull. I can't see any damage, but I won't know until I get into port, get into anchorage. There's no water inside the boat, the bilges are all dry, which is good. We were doing about 6.5, 6 knots when we hit it, which is just a bit down from the 7.5 we were doing before, so it's a good job we reduced speed. Anyway, unfortunate that that happened, but I knew that it's just a matter of time, it's just a lottery. You're bound to hit something sooner or later in this place. So there we are, anchored in Belitung, and Truth's happy at anchor, just rolling easily in the swell. So we're on the island of Belitung. This is a nice place. It's got bars with cold beer, and the scenery is quite unusual. These big rocks hanging around everywhere. Beautiful beaches, and not quite so much pollution as other places.